food creator at Snickle Fritz Kitchens. Snickle Fritz Kitchen is a locally obsessed food company. We offer butter tarts that are made in the traditions of Waterloo County using all natural and all local ingredients. We offer condiments that honor the flavors and traditions from around our areas. Snickle Fritz Kitchens was born during the pandemic. I was a project consultant and business was slow. It went right down during the pandemic, and so I started baking. And at the Christmas time during the first year of the pandemic, we ended up being so busy and we were baking out of the kitchen, and I remember we did 150 butter tarts that day. And so it obviously took off. And then that's kind of the first part of my business. The second part of the business is my condiments. And that idea was born in one of our local breweries in town. I partnered with Counterpoint Brewing to do some promotion for Farwell for Hire, who I love, and we made Snickle Fritz Butter Tart beer. And I was sitting there and had a pretzel, and it was a naked pretzel, and I'm like, dude, you need something to go with this pretzel. So mustard, pretzels, it was perfect. And I thought, well, we have honey mustard and you have maple mustard, so what could possibly go wrong with butter tart mustard? And so butter tart mustard was born. The name of my business, Snickle Fritz. When I was a child, I had a great uncle, my Uncle Herb, who used to call me the Snickle Fritz. And one day I asked him, Uncle Herb, what does that mean? And he said, you little troublemaker. And I'm like, oh, I don't understand how that happened. But when email was born, my name's Sandy Nickel, I was always Snickle at whatever company. And so then when I had to name my company, I went, Snickle Fritz Kitchens. How can you go wrong with that? So before I was doing this, I mentioned that I was a project consultant. I had a consultant firm. I did project consulting for small businesses around the area in technology, largely servers, networking, application implementation, and some moves. And I did that for a long time. I spent 5 years at IBM, a number of years at the City of Kitchener, and I went into the consulting side. And then again, when the pandemic hit and the baking started to take off, I did half project consulting and half baking until the time came where I didn't have time to do the project consulting anymore. The highlights have been amazing for me. Subtle, but amazing. So I remember when I rented my first kitchen at the Waterloo Legion. Again, the pandemic, everything was closed, and so I called them and asked them, and they had a spare kitchen, and the president, Bob Berg, was such a sweetheart, and he and I met, and so I ended up being able to use the kitchen, and I was in there for a couple of years, and then I grew out of that. They were going in a different direction, and I was fortunate enough, I had built a really good relationship with Angie out at Cloverleaf Farms in New Hamburg. And as it so happened, that kitchen, they have a big kitchen in their store that became available. So I was able to rent that. And so that was another highlight. And then Farwell for Hire. I was his first butter tart person at Farwell for Hire, and working with him is amazing. And he kind of was he kind of got me over the hump, if you will, of kind of going out and becoming a commercial baker. And then I think in the condiments, getting into the condiment space, and I have friends who introduced me to the great people at Central Fresh Meat Market. And getting into Central, that first location was just such a highlight for me. And then growing that, I had to have somebody else starting to produce my products, my pantry shelf products, not my butter tarts, we still make those, but the pantry shelf products. So I have somebody doing that, and we do thousands of jars at a time. So what they can do in 2 hours would have taken me 6 months. And so learning about the co-packers and all of that and getting in there has been such a journey, and there's just been so many highlights in there. Of course, there's been some challenges over the years. I think food costs have to be the biggest challenge of them all. And there's two sides to the food cost coin. One is the cost of food that I need to buy for making my products. It's high and it's going up. The other side of that coin is people being able to afford the products that I'm making. I am aware that we have a crisis in our food industry and people can't afford groceries. And so I have products that cost a little bit more. They're made with local ingredients. And it's really hard to think that they can be purchased by so many people. And so it's I'm trying to be conscious, and yet being able to make margins that I can continue my business and grow is it's a huge challenge, and that's one of the things that keeps me up at night, is how to be able to do that. Another challenge that I've been having is just a little bit of a health issue that's slowed me down, and it's not allowing me to move forward as quickly as I'd really like to. So that's an issue. Also, learning everything new. I've never been in the food industry before, and so now I'm learning about how do you find a co-packer, making sure that you have all of the right certifications in place. Marketing, how do you market this out? Printing, Westmount Signs is amazing, and I'm so glad I found them, because they have been absolutely great for guiding me through all of my printing requirements. And I actually met Westmount Signs through the Chamber of Commerce, so there's our little local network coming into play. Challenges again, being able to do everything from accounting to marketing, and keeping the energy levels up, and having time to make the products, and having time to go out and keep the relationships going with the vendors. All are huge challenges. They're good problems to have, and I'm really glad I have them, but they can keep you going. If I were to look back over the years, I think the one thing that I would do differently, or one of the things I would do differently, is to have the confidence that I can do this, that I can move forward, that I don't need somebody else's approval, and that my ideas are great, and to know that I am in a good position to grow, and I can do this. So going from, paying one amount of rent to another amount of rent, I wouldn't have done that if my hand wouldn't have been forced. But then when it happened, it's like, oh, all of a sudden now my sales can grow because I can do more. And so also now looking forward, it's like, I know that I can afford to hire somebody to come in and work with me on the baking side, so I can forward or focus on the production of my sauces and marketing those out to a wider territory. So when I think about what is my personal favorite, I have two sides on that one, because I love the baking, and the fresh butter tarts are really good. And the new flavor that I came up with over Christmas was raspberry coconut, and they are so good. So I think that's going to be my personal favorite on the baking side. However, I love my sauces, and my sauces are my long game. And so I like them all. I like my first one, the baby, was the butter tart mustard that I made to go specifically with pretzels, but it goes with so many different things. And that's very versatile. Like, you can use it as a glaze, you can use it as a lot of different things. So I really love that one. Then there's the Oktoberfest mustard. And then when Snyder's discontinued their Oktoberfest mustard, somebody told me, and they said, can you make the Oktoberfest mustard? And I just thought, in this town, we have to have it. And so I did it. And it worked out. It's very good, and it's become a local favorite. But then there's the zucchini relish. Willie's discontinued the zucchini relish. Another favorite in our community, And I've been making preserves for so long. I grew up making preserves in my mom's kitchen, standing on a little stool, cutting up the vegetables, canning. And so that is so near and dear to my heart when it comes to what did I do, is like the bringing back those feelings and the smells that I remember as a child. So that's my long answer, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with. The methods that I've used to grow my business vary quite a bit. Word of mouth has been fantastic. Our community is so good for recommending products. And on social media, the social media has been kind to me, which is lovely. I have grown it from a marketing perspective largely through festivals, markets, that sort of thing. So pop-ups, and I try to get into different areas so that I can reach different people. And then growing the sauces, finding a co-packer that worked for me. Again, a nice local co-packer just here in Puslynch that I can work with, focusing on kind of that local flair. So being able to upscale has really helped me be able to go out and sell my products for resellers, our local community resellers. Success to me is I guess you might call it modest. I want to have a nice little business that I'm proud of, something that means something to me. I'm not focused on making a lot of money. I'm focused on being part of the community. And I'm focused on having something that I can do to continue to feel meaningful as I get older. And so that's my goal, is to just build this nice, humble little business. Some of the core values that mean a lot to me that I've integrated into my business is relationship building. So I love having good relationships and working with people in a positive way. So respect for other people is huge for me. Respect for our environment, very important to me as well. And our local community. I love Waterloo County and areas around, but our little community here in Southwest Ontario. And we have such a strong community here, right here in Waterloo Region. The Chamber of Commerce is great to pull people together, and the relationships that I've been able to build with the people who resell my product, with my suppliers, we mean something to each other. We help each other out wherever we can. It's a great place where I can try new things and get feedback. And also, just our community alone, not even people that I have a relationship with, just our community alone. I mean, you know, you go to a local restaurant and you give a shout out on social media or, you know, word of mouth. We provide word of mouth referrals all around this area, and it's fantastic. I've been able to get some great local mentors. Aura from Aura Laws has been great, as has Chef D, and other people around the area. So we're very fortunate to have such a strong community that's so supportive of each other. Having a business in Waterloo Region, the benefits of that are great, especially in the food industry. We have this vital business area, industry area in Kitchener and Waterloo, but then on the outskirts, we have the farmers. We have such a rich farming community that we get local vegetables, local meats. We have such a wealth of that sort of thing in this area, and to be able to incorporate that and use my foods with those products is just such a benefit. We're so blessed. And then to have that right juxtaposed beside the high-tech community. And the high-tech community is also, again, one of those businesses that are, or industries that's very supportive of the area. The tourism board is great for bringing people in and focusing on that. We've gone from a manufacturing community into high-tech, and we still keep our farming community around. And that's something that's very important, is to be able to keep our farming community secure and to allow us to make sure that we have food. We have food shortages in the area. Well, we have farms here that we can all work together and make sure that we keep our food and we keep our farmers healthy and we keep everybody in the area healthy and prosperous. Our local traditions and our local flavors in Waterloo County. Again, I grew up in my mom's kitchen. We did our gardening, we made preserves, we put our vegetables down every year, and then making the food to go with that. So anything I see that's food related, I love to try new food. And I also love to find those cookbooks and find those ideas from way back and bring them up into my network of food. And those things inspire me. Our other local business owners, our small entrepreneurs around inspire me because we are all in the same game. We're all working with our own visions and we're respectful of each other. And when I look and I see especially another female founder who is just working it and killing it, that is so inspiring, and it just makes me want to keep going, and it kind of gives me that extra little spring in my step to keep going. The advice that I would give to other aspiring business owners is do it. Just do it. Go in baby steps. Walk in baby steps. Don't try and get too big too fast. Make sure you've got a good footing, but do it. Don't be too afraid. Fear is good, but don't be afraid of failure. Failure is good because every time you fail, you learn. I have learned so many lessons over the past years, and every one of them builds a character. It gives you something to go on, but a fail is also a gain. So sometimes when you fail, it's like, holy, that actually is gonna work. Just believe in yourself and just do it. Another little piece of advice is everybody that you meet is important. Everybody has something to offer or something that you can offer them. And what you can offer somebody else is just as important as what they can offer you. So everybody is just as important. In the next 5 years, I have trouble with the 5-year plan because things change all the time. But what I can tell you my goal is in 5 years is to have this nice little company that's running that I'm not killing myself physically over all the time, that I'm still able to be in it and be able to market it and be able to go out and talk to people in the community about not just my product, but the things that I believe in as well, and help other small businesses. I would love to be able to help a young entrepreneur, a young woman who's coming up, to be able to help them get on their feet and give to them what I've gotten back. So those are my goals. I would love to be able to do some speaking in the community about the importance of local. I would love to be able to do some speaking about our community. So those sorts of things. There's where I'd kind of be in my 5-year goal. What you can expect in the meantime is that in the next year, I'll have 2, potentially 3 new products out on the market. I'm very excited about those, and 2 of them I really want to have out before barbecue season. I'm also seeking to hire somebody, to actually have somebody on staff. I'd like to find somebody with an entrepreneurial spirit who can come in and bake and also honor the flavors and traditions of our area. Maybe grow that product line, that I can, be there and work with them and just watch that part of the business grow. One of the things I'd like to do from a marketing standpoint is bring about a Love Local campaign. So starting out, I have a little bit of swag. I have the Love Local mug, and I have this Love Local bag. It's a great bag, and the map on that is my favorite. It is a heritage map of Waterloo County, so way before it became Waterloo Region. that it actually has the spots, the different towns listed on there. And what I would love to see are these bags around town with marks on them, like this store here, I bought from this store here, and I bought from this store here. So, you know, maybe with a marker, people could customize it so it's like, here's where I shop. Here are the local companies I support. So that's one of the marketing campaigns that I'm going to be bringing out in 2025. It's just a germ of an idea right now, but I think it's going to be fantastic. So watch for more of that, and let's see where 2025 takes us. So my home base is at Cloverleaf Farms out on Bleems Road in New Hamburg. You can find me and my products in there during the day. But you can also find me at www.snicklefritzkitchens.ca. Google Snickle Fritz Kitchens and I'll come up. And on Instagram and Facebook at Snickle Fritz Kitchens.